I'd like to call this special council meeting to order. Before we begin, I want to acknowledge that the land upon which we are gathered is the traditional territory of the Adirondack, Haudenosaunee, and Anishinaabe. Many members of the latter two, plus Indigenous people from across the country, reside in Fort Erie and add to the richness of our community life. Madam Clerk, the roll call.
All members of council are present, Your Worship, with the exception of Councillor Butler.
Thank you. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest? So nice to be able to see all of you without having to bend my neck around to the back. So the Councillor Dubanow, you had moved a resolution at our last council meeting, and that had to do with the appointment of a councillor to the Lincoln County Humane Society. So at this stage of the game, Madam Clerk, have we had any nominees that you're aware of, or should I be asking members of council if they wish to nominate someone?
I believe Councillor Dubanow is going to nominate someone. I'm not sure about anyone else.
Well, we'll start with you, Councillor Dubanow.
Yes, Your Worship. I would actually like to nominate Councillor Noyes as the representative on the Lincoln County Humane Society Board of Directors.
Do we have a seconder for that?
I'll second it.
Councillor Zanko. Are there any other nominations for the position? If not, then Councillor Noyes, will you accept the nomination?
Yes, I will.
So, Councillor Dubanow, if you would insert Councillor Noyes' name into the blank, and then I'll let you read the resolution.
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. And as you noted, this was previously moved. So the appointment to the Lincoln County Humane Society Board of Directors, that council appoints Councillor Noyes to the Lincoln County Humane Society Board of Directors for the period ending November 14th, 2022, effective June 1st, 2022.
Are there any questions or comments? All those in, oh, sorry, Councillor Lubberts.
Yes, thank you very much, Mayor Redekop. I think I brought this up when we made the appointment to Lincoln County. And are we going to provide any mileage or such for traveling to meetings out of town?
Well, my understanding
Similar
is
to yourself that you get for the region or...
yeah, the mayor, of course, doesn't get mileage at the municipality, but my understanding is that councillors can request reimbursement for mileage for meetings to attend out-of-town committee meetings.
I believe so, but Mr. Jansen may want to speak to that.
Mr. Jansen.
Through you, Mayor, I'd have to go back and look at the bylaw as well. We do submit annually our council remuneration, but in terms of the actual rate pay, I believe it's for out-of-town attendance at events and meetings, but that's my recollection.
So, Mr. Jansen, let's do this. Please check the policy, and if there's an anomaly and that doesn't provide for this, let us know so that we can correct it at the next council meeting. Councillor Lubberts, is that satisfactory? Okay. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor of the resolution? That is carried. So the next item for consideration is the bylaw package. And Councillor Noyes, I understand you have the resolution.
Thank you, Mayor Redekop. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Dubanow that the bylaw package containing 64-2022 to enact an amendment to the official plan adopted by bylaw number 15006 for the town of Fort Erie Planning Area Amendment number 60-7 Central Avenue and a portion of 100-1 Queen Street, Sengar Developments Incorporated and Sengar Developments LP, Anthony Di Battista and Sebastian Misi, owners. Bylaw 65-2022 to amend the zoning bylaw number 129-90 as amended, -7 Central Avenue and a portion of 100-1 Queen Street, Sengar Development Incorporated and Sengar Development LP, Anthony Di Basti, said it better the first time, and Sebastian Misi, owners. Bylaw number 66, 2022, to authorize the entry into a community benefits agreement pursuant to Section 37 of the Planning Act with Sengar Development Incorporated and Sengar Development LP, Anthony De Battista and Sebastian Misi, 7 Central Avenue, and a portion of 100-1 Queen Street. Bylaw 67, 2022, to accept and declare lands as a public highway on the west side of Concession Road, in brackets 450 Garrison Road -9310924 in Canada Incorporated, Glenn De Silva, is given first and second reading.
All those in favor? Unopposed, that is carried. So that bylaw package is on the floor for any questions or comments. Councillor Lubberts.
Yes, thank you very much, Mayor Redekop. Yeah, I'm just looking through here. I did make some points. But one of the, I think it was in the memo when they talked about the sale of the land on Central Avenue, and that we didn't know anything about the sale, and then we moved forward with some reports in 2022.
Correct.
So now what we're doing is we're just passing that along, and I didn't see anything in here where the new owner has signed off and agreed to all agreements that staff and the town has made with the original owner. And I think it's in our best interest to see that they acknowledge that, and I'd like to see it in writing that they acknowledge it and that they sign that declaration.
Madam Clerk?
Yes, Your Worship, it's my understanding that the agent that we have been dealing with all along is the same individual representing all of the parties. So it'd be Mr. Lee White, and also there was Jeff Andrews, I believe his name was shown as agent at the beginning on the application. It's the same parties, it's just a different ownership, corporate, with a general partnership as well.
To Councillor Lubbert's point, the individuals identified and the corporate entities identified in these bylaws are the current owners, is that correct?
Yes, they are.
Councillor Lubberts.
Yeah, but I think what the clerk is trying to say is the previous owners are the same people as the current owners.
Principals
So
are-
what you're saying is they just created a corporation and sold it to the new corporation? Is that what happened?
That, our understanding is that it's a change in corporate entities, but the principles behind the corporations are the same.
They have the same interest, yes. They've been working together. They're not necessarily the same corporations, but yes.
Different corporations, but the same individual principles behind the corporations.
So is there anything we need to do just on the legal aspect of it? Because I don't want what happened on Erie Road to happen again. I don't want what happened on Repstock Road to happen again. When they come back and say, well, that's not the way it was written in the agreement, and now that, I understand the principles are the same, but Corporations Act is Corporations Act. It's a new corporation. It's a new owner.
That's right.
And I want the principals to give us some kind of assurance that they agree to everything with the new entity.
Yeah, so I will, before I sign the bylaws, I will make sure that the lawyer for the municipalities had a chance to speak with the clerk and the, what's Ms. Ferenza's title?
The law clerk. She's been
And the
dealing
law
with this
clerk,
as well.
who
All
does
three
all
of
the
us
work.
have.
So I'll
Yes,
check with
yes.
them
I think
before-
everybody understands that,
Yep,
you know, the agreement was made with this entity, and now you change entities. That means that the second entity didn't make that agreement. The
No
first
agreement.
entity did.
yeah, there's been no agreement yet. That's what we're in the process of doing. We're passing bylaws that permit development, and we're entering into a community benefits agreement. But I will check with the municipal lawyer before I sign these documents to ensure that your concerns are addressed.
Okay, thanks.
Your Worship, if I may, I have some email that you can see tomorrow that I think will take care of this for you.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Then we'll proceed to third and final reading of the bylaw package, and Councillor Lubberts, you have that resolution.
moved by myself and seconded by Councillor McDermott, that bylaws numbers 64-2022, 65-2022, 66-2022, and 67-2022 are given third and final reading to be signed by the mayor mayor and the clerk under the corporate seal.
Right, and before we proceed, I neglected to point out that there is an addendum which, with respect to bylaw 64-2022, correctly points out or corrects reference to a special policy area. Instead of special policy area 27 in Schedule A, pages 4 and 8, it should be special policy area 28, and that's referred to in the addendum. Sorry about that. Any other questions or comments on the bylaw package? If none, all those in favor? None opposed? That is carried. That then takes us to the confirmatory bylaw. Councillor Zanko, you have a resolution for first and second reading.
Yes, thank you. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor McDermott. The bylaw number 68-2022 to confirm the actions of council at its special council meeting held on June 20th, 2022 is given first and second reading.
All those in favor? None opposed? That is carried. And Councillor McDermott, you have the next resolution.
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Dubanow, that bylaw number 68-2022 is given third and final reading to be signed by the mayor and clerk under the corporate seal.
Are there any questions or comments? All those in favor? None opposed? That is carried. And Councillor Dubanow, you have resolution number 5.
Yes, I do, Your Worship. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Noyes that council adjourns at 5:43 p.m. to reconvene into a regular meeting of council on June 27th, 2022.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor? None opposed? That is carried. So we're adjourned then until 6 o'clock when we will start the council and committee meeting. Thank you all.